can Fortnite OG be saved? That's the question we're gonna ask today, and the question we're gonna answer today. Feel free to leave a bunch of comments in the chat, but I think the first thing, look, if I'm gonna answer that question for myself, I think the first thing that I need to do, bro, I need to jump on the game and actually play around for myself. Because I'm gonna be real, I haven't played OG in a minute. I've had no desire to play Fortnite OG. Y'all know my stance. I don't hate OG. It's not compelling to me anymore. And I'll be real, the more seasons that we've had with OG, the more bored I've become. And it's probably because there's not a lot of difference between season 1 and season 3. But I'm wondering if after season 4, going into season 5, if things are gonna really start to take off for the mode. I want to see what everybody else is saying is true. Are there only like 5 real people or 8 real people in the lobbies, man? This is one thing I want to say right now too, right? OG is like this kind of weird in between of reload and main BR, right? Like you've got a lot of the same weapons that you have in reload, but you're getting a BR experience like you have for main chapter 6. I don't think OG is doing enough to keep most players excited about it. I just don't think there's enough with this mode. And I don't think it's just the bots. Now, granted, the bots are a big problem, right? Let's not sit here and act like OG being littered with bots is not an issue. But at the same time, if the player counts are going to be super low, if you don't want to have insanely long queue times, you're going to have to load it with bots. But before we address the bot issue, I think we have to attract enough players to where bots aren't necessary. And I don't think the game is at that spot yet. You got to think about all the different ways that Fortnite is split up between the different regions, the different versions of OG. Not enough people talk about that. Yeah, this is definitely a bot here. Y'all hear this? Maybe not, actually. Hold on. Hey, perhaps maybe it is, bro. I don't even know, man. No turbo building. What am I playing right now? See, bro, look at this. Wow, I feel so good at the game, chat. Look at all. Chat, look at all the kills I'm getting, chat. Aren't I good? Yeah, so far, I don't think we've come across a single real player, man. Like I said, I haven't played OG in so long. You know what else sucks? When OG first dropped, like the non-bot OG, I only played the first day for like a few hours. I think the rest of my time was spent making content. So by the time I got back to the game, bots were added in, and it just sucked, man. Granted, in-game still felt a little intense for me because at that time there were still a decent amount of players. Oh, hang on. I just legit think that the player base would rather try the new version of Fort that they would play this old one that had flaws that we wanted corrected, which over the years got corrected as Epic listened to our feedback, and the game just kept evolving. That's the thing, man. People say that Epic doesn't listen, but the reason why the game is the way that it is now is because they do listen. They do take player feedback into consideration. And just because every decision isn't made as fast as you want it to be doesn't mean that decisions aren't being made because of our input, because of our feedback. Like I guarantee you, after the Star Wars season, with the next collab season that we get, whatever that may be, I guarantee you they will not take all the main weapons out of the loot pool, like the normal weapons, and replace them with collab weapons. I guarantee you they'll never do that again. Now, I may have to eat those words in a few months whenever if the Simpsons season is next or whatever, like maybe we'll have all Simpsons, we'll just be throwing donuts at each other for an entire time. I don't know. Bro, I forgot how much these guns just shred, dog. Bro, don't tell me that the LMG ain't it, you know what I mean? Bro, this had to be a bot. 3 tac shotguns, a pump, and a sniper in your inventory is wild. There's no way. What did this guy have in his inventory? A pump, a tac. This person I could potentially maybe seeing being real. Also, I gotta say this right now just because every time I'm in real OG, I gotta say it. But like, you know what the biggest crime of this season is? I can't hold 10 minis. Back in the good old days, you could hold 10 minis. 6 is an abomination. How dare they not get that right? It's wild. Chat, if Donald Mustard were here, we'd have 10 minis. I'm telling y'all, it's crazy. The reason why Fortnite was good back in the OG days was not just because of Donald Mustard, okay? And we got to stop acting like it was. Donald had an amazing team of people that he worked with that kept things fun. This man is, this might actually be a real player, chat. Hold on. Wait, what? Listen, buddy, I want your kill. Oh my God, bro. Okay, I actually got markers on that one. This guy, I think that guy might have actually been real, but the fact that I have to question it is a problem. Bro, see, what in the bot lobbies is happening here right now, dog? I think I may have come across one real person, and I'm still, that's the thing, I'm still questioning if that person's real, bro. I got 9 bodies. There's 20 people left in this lobby. Remember, we got live events with Major Lore every 2 seasons. Good time. I mean, we still get that. Look, the Fortnite theory community has been cooking. Even in OG, right? OG looks like it's building up its own storyline. Everybody's talking about like, oh, the Visitor and the 7, are they like having to relook at all their old mistakes and Are they caught in some kind of hell set by the last reality and the nothing? And I think there's credibility to that theory. Like there was that whole teaser by Epic recently where it was like the visitor or somebody was talking to the TV and it was like, it's happening again. So it's almost like they're having to rewatch everything over and over again. Basically, they're caught in a limbo and like some infinite hell, rewatching everything. I think if that's the case, I think that's kind of dope. This might be a real person. Oh, this is fun. Oh, shut. See, bro, now I'm fighting a real person. Did this guy take my kill? Yo! Fuck you, first blood, okay? I'm getting third party by some other loser. That's fun. Okay, now I'm getting sniped at. That's awesome. Jumping down here was probably a mistake. Guarantee bro is bricked up in the house somewhere, man. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, well, that happened. Clark, this is OG. I have to remember that. Talk about rusty. Oh, Lord have mercy. No, 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 no. Stop. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. There's more bots, but this isn't so bad. Like, you know, one thing I'm not used to, I'm just not getting used to like beamed by all the OG weapons. Like I forget how hard these suckers hit for. Oh, there is a rift and that is insanely useful. Oh my, chat, can you imagine? Chat, can you imagine? Oh, shite. Thank God that guy is terrible. Listen, I gotta stop playing my life out here like this, man. I'm asking to get sniped in the dome. I should have had this guy killed though, high key. Like, I'm really playing too much right now. You know, so I'm playing with my mats. Like, what am I, like, what is this? There is still a certain level of intensity that OG has naturally, just because of how busted these weapons are. Like, that still kind of makes the game mode a little intense, but it's not as intense as if every person you're coming across is an actual real player, you know? Is that the guy from earlier? That is the guy from earlier. This guy's my mortal enemy, chat. He's my nemesis. I don't like him. I do not like this guy. From behind. Honestly, if my toe gets touched by any gun in this mode, that's a GG's. I have squandered so many opportunities to absolutely clap this man. It didn't shoot. Oh, and I shot again. I honestly thought I had that. This is my analysis as a below average Fortnite player that just played that mode for the first time in probably like a month and a half, 2 months. I'm gonna be real. I had fun. That was cool. I enjoyed it. It's a lot more intense, like I said, but it's because the weapons are more powerful. I think I might have come across like 4 or 5 actual real players. Those guys are definitely around my skill level. I got clapped there at the end. Is what it is. Whatever. I enjoyed that though. I'm gonna be totally honest. I did enjoy it. But that's not a justification for the bots though. That needs more real players. Like that game would have been far more intense with even like 20 more actual people. I think some of the people, like somebody was saying it earlier, some of those people just kind of sucked. I think there might have been more real people than I was realizing. But yeah, it seems like there's about 8 to 12, maybe 8 to 15 real players in a lobby. Once again, because I'm at a lower skill level and I haven't played in a while, that's probably why I might have more real players in my lobby. If you're a better player, you're a higher elo, you're probably gonna have like 5 real people in your lobbies, man. Here's my thing, and this is my mentality when it comes to OG overall, right? The big problem with just OG in general is the fact that they're here permanently. The mode is cheapened because it is here all the time, right? What made Season OG cool was the fact that it was temporary. And I stand by that. I know that some people think like, oh, people that enjoy OG are just gonna play OG. People that like Modern Fortnite are just gonna play Modern Fortnite. That's not true. The majority of the player base is going to play the newer Battle Royale experience than the old one. And to sit here and act like the 2 Battle Royales aren't competing with each other is just not true. They are directly competing with each other. It doesn't matter that this OG experience has a different play style or a different meta than the main BR experience. They're both BRs under the same game. Even Reload competes with the other modes, right? But the thing about Reload is that it's a different of enough experience to have a stronger dedicated player base. This is in some ways a more broken version of what people want to play from Fortnite. Now listen, I like this. I think this is cool. But for the millionth time, I think this would have been better as an LTM. They should have brought this back once every couple of months or once a year on Fortnite's birthday, and that would have been how we experienced OG, and it would have been something different every time. You could have done season 5, you could have done season X, you could have done season 3 for one, whatever. Just play around with it. Now, let's answer the question that we started this video with. How can we save OG Fortnite? How can OG Fortnite be saved? I think if they're gonna get people excited about playing the mode again, they're gonna have to change OG in a way that it feels new to the older players that liked OG. Now, I know that that kind of goes against what OG is, but the problem is, and I don't think enough people want to admit this, but most people that are playing OG do not want to play the exact same version that we played 7 years ago. As an OG player, I'm gonna be real, that's just not that exciting to me. Like we talked about earlier with the way that they're doing the storyline, if it is the case that events are gonna play out different to how they have played originally, that might encourage some players to come to the mode and try it out again. Like if the meteor, instead of hitting Dusty, hits Tilted, and now it's this series of events like, oh, hold on, this mode is a what if. Like, well, hold on, what if the meteor had a hit over here instead? Like, what if Tilted was obliterated? What if the monster never showed up on the island? Stuff like that, right? They play around with the ideas and the concepts, kind of like what they did with Season OG. It's mostly like how you remember it, but there's little differences here and there. That will get some players back. I think more so the hardcore storyline, the hardcore theorist community, and maybe some of the more hardcore OG players, they'll come back to that. But I still don't think that's enough to get a bunch of people flooding back to it, a bunch of people excited. That's the question. How do you make OG new? A mode that's designed to play on the nostalgia of Fortnite, how do you make it new? And I honestly think really Reload did it the best. Reload gave us the old weapons, some of the old locations, but they also gave us new locations with the old flair, with the old twist. I really think Reload was the thing that a lot of OG players were looking for. It's just, there's so many things that Reload does right. Even the way that the loot pools are designed, it's designed to be more aggressive. When I play Reload, it's like getting the best parts of OG, but an entirely new experience. Plus the fact that I get to cycle through maps. Reload is kind of like Fortnite's greatest hits. But if OG is going to do that, how do they do it? I think one thing they could do is maybe, and this is a stretch, but maybe take some of those old Save the World weapons that have never been used and throw those into the loot pool, just to kind of mix things up a little bit. Like, what if we had have added this weapon instead of this one, right? Instead of making it identical 1-to-1. The other thing I think too is maybe, outside of changing the map up a little bit, I think the other thing they could do is just update the game to where they make it look more modern. I've given this idea before, but basically create a version of OG Fortnite as if you had all the knowledge from like the past 7 years, but you were making the game for the first time. You're gonna make a modern take on OG. I don't think we necessarily need stuff like NPCs, but maybe some wildlife wouldn't hurt. Changing the textures on the buildings, or just, I don't know, something to make it look different. Maybe give us some new POIs in the old style. In essence, like a chapter 1, do a chapter 1 season 11 kind of a thing. But that's the only thing I can think to really make people want to come back to it. I don't think that these older seasons are going to really do it. Even when we get to like seasons 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe season X things will go crazy because everybody's going to want to, participate in the madness of that. I don't really see people being that excited for it in the long term. This will probably happen if they just keep everything exactly the same. You'll get more of the same of what you've already gotten. You'll have people jumping on for the first couple of days to a week, being like, yes, I remember this, good times. They'll play around with the loot pool. They're going to dip out and they're going to go back and play main BR or Reload, because that's what's giving people what they really want. Making this a permanent mode is the big issue, and I just don't see people being excited to revisit this permanently. This is something that both JoJo and I were talking about, that we're saying, hey, if you do this could be a potential issue. Once again, 36,000, like we just looked at the player count. Yeah, 36,300 is where it's sitting at right now for this main BROG. That's by no means dead, but at the same time, for the amount of effort that they're going to put into this, it's still a little low. This mode should be at least sitting between 50 to 70K. And that's part of the reason why you have so many bots in the game right now, too, because there's just not enough people playing it. That's the thing. To solve the bot problem, you have to get more people on. So they've got to incentivize people to get on the game. But outside of the few things that I've listed, I can't really think of any ways that they could incentivize people to get on. But maybe you guys have some ideas. I don't know. Season 1 was OG's back. Season 2 is Tilted's back. Season 3 was Lucky. Season 4, TV is for the Meteor, Dusty. Yeah, once again, TS, you're probably right. But wouldn't it be cool? It took OG in a different direction. If they did just blow up Tilted instead of Dusty, that would be so dope. Remixed item shops from Season 3 doesn't make me want to play OG Battle Pass skins. I don't even think bringing back the old Battle Pass skins is going to want to make people play OG. That's gonna get you excited for a day, and you're gonna take that battle pass skin and you're gonna use it in all the other, like, guys, cosmetics is not part of this conversation. Regardless of how people feel about battle passes, I don't care to have that conversation anymore. That has nothing to do with gameplay. But that's why I don't like talk about battle passes in terms of like, and use that as a barometer to rate how good a season is. I could care how good or bad a battle pass is. What's the gameplay like? If the gameplay is stale, it doesn't matter how good the battle pass is. That's not gonna encourage me to play OG more. It just doesn't matter. Augments are good. Bro, see, if they gave us like a chapter 4 OG, oh man. Here's the deal. This is one thing they could do, which would be really dope. Instead of making it just chapter 1, if they did like all the old chapters and it was a random season from every chapter every couple of months and you didn't know which one, that would be kind of sick. Hey, maybe we're playing on the chapter 2 map. There's a chapter 2 battle pass. Okay, maybe it's a chapter 4 map. We don't know. You got to find out, and it's a different season. Like that would make it way more exciting. And the thing is, you could do that forever, because another 6 or 7 years from now, after you've done every season that's ever existed, or the majority of seasons that have ever existed, you'll have chapters 7, 8, 9, 10 that you can go back and revisit. That wouldn't be OG. I understand what OG is. OG is designed to be you reliving the glory days of the original 10 seasons of Fortnite. I understand that. I get it. I just don't know if that is powerful enough to hold a strong player base for an extended period of time. We will, like I said, we will see what they do season 5 onward. I think that's when things are going to really get interesting. But once again, even then, I still don't know if that gameplay is strong enough. I really don't, Chad.